Good morning, Chattanooga. Here's a quick look at today's top 5 stories. First of all, a Pilot Flying J employee tells investigators that CEO Jimmy Haslam knew about rebate fraud at the truck stop chain his family owns. A recent unsealed FBI affidavit alleges that members of the company's sales force preyed on smaller trucking companies by reducing the amount of rebates that they were owed for buying certain amounts of fuel. That affidavit was filed to secure the search warrants used in Monday's raid on the Pilot Flying J headquarters. One employee reportedly told investigators that the rebate scheme was discussed during sales meetings attended by Haslam and Pilot President Mark Hazelwood. Haslam denied any wrongdoing in a news conference earlier this week. Next up, TVA's top leaders say they will cooperate with the Obama administration's call for a review of the federal utility. CEO Bill Johnson and Board Chairman Bill Sansom say they believe TVA is a, quote, good business model that's funded completely by ratepayers, not taxpayers. Next up, Volkswagen has announced layoffs of 500 employees at its Chattanooga plant. The automaker told contract employees that it's cutting 15% of the workforce. VW executives blamed slower than expected growth in Passat sales and say they're doing away with a third production shift at the factory. Frank Fisher, who heads VW in Chattanooga, said the company's expectations were too high. Fisher says officials saw a trend of slowing growth in Passat sales in late 2012 and tried to avoid layoffs by reducing the number of production days. But it wasn't enough. Volkswagen's layoffs are set to start at the end of May. In Tennessee politics, a bill allowing whiskey distilleries in Chattanooga has passed and is on its way to the governor. Haslam is expected to sign the bill in the next 2 weeks. The owners of the Chattanooga Whiskey Company say they'll throw a block party at their planned Southside Distillery on May 31st and then begin whiskey production after that. Also, country music star Carrie Underwood is scolding Tennessee lawmakers after the House passed the controversial Ag-Gag bill. The bill requires anyone taking photos or videos of animal abuse to turn the material over to law enforcement within 48 hours. Critics charge the bill aims to deter groups like the Humane Society from carrying out long-term investigations of abuse. Underwood tweeted to her followers, quote, "Shame on Tennessee lawmakers for passing the Ag-Gag bill. If Governor Bill Haslam signs this, he needs to expect me at his front door. Who's with me?" And finally, Sheriff Jim Hammond may tap former East Ridge City Manager Tim Gobble to serve as his interim jail chief. Hammond says he's been talking with Gobble, who resigned from his job in East Ridge in February, about replacing Deputy Chief of Corrections Ron Parson. Parsons being demoted after a recent investigation reported he made numerous offensive comments to officers. Before coming to Hamilton County, Tim Gobble was previously sheriff of Bradley County and worked as a Secret Service agent. And we'll see showers and thunderstorms throughout today with a high temperature near 59 degrees. The low tonight will be around 38. I'm Harrison Keeley. For more on these stories and updates throughout the day, follow us on Facebook and visit timesfreepress.com.